We want to let somebody else solve our problems. When you are not in control of the problem, you cannot dictate how the solution is doled out. Want to grow your business without spending a dime on ads? Head to www.thebusinessbully.com/without paid ads. Stop guessing, start dominating. Y'all are trying me. Okay, we get these questions. If you haven't sent in your question, you can do it. Dave@businessbullyshow.com, and I'm going to answer it. Stacy from Wisconsin says, Dave, I need your take on DEI. Do you really want this? Are you sure? Okay. DEI stands for didn't earn it. Let's keep it a buck, right? I have said on this platform and just about any platform I've been on, I have a distinct issue with Black people always caping for white women. Dave, what do you mean caping for white women? Well, let's just review. Statistically speaking, out of all of the DEI hires, only 4% have gone to Black people. 52% have gone to white women. The same way white women were the number one beneficiaries of affirmative action, the same way white women are the number one beneficiaries of the welfare state, yet and still, here you come. When it comes to feminism, white women were also the number one beneficiaries, but Black people keep getting their heads chopped in. I'm trying to understand when you will wake up. All they got to do is hit you with a phrase and you're running with it. Because before this, what was it? Critical race theory. Oh Lord, they're taking the books out of the schools. Books about, I can't use that word on this platform. Books about corn, okay, that have no business in schools. And I don't know if you understand this. If you need the government, meaning the U.S. Department of Education, the state school board, whoever, to teach your child about being Black, you've already lost the race. Let that sink in. But let's get back to DEI for a minute. We keep advocating for crumbs, but here's where I'm really trying to understand. You decided that it was a good idea to roast Tabitha Brown because she said, if you're going to boycott Target, that's fine. Just buy Black within Target, because there are literally hundreds of Black-owned businesses that are in Target, that have been featured, that have been propped up, that have deals going with Target. And you said, oh no, because you're half in and you're half out. Well, I would venture to guess that being half in is a lot better than the under 3% you are as far as ownership and employing other Black people. Do you see Jewish people walking around here saying, buy Jewish? Do you see Asian people of any group of Asians, meaning Vietnamese, Chinese, Indian? Do you see any of them talk about buy Asian? No, they don't have to, because it's a way of life. Black people, we don't. But you're fighting for diversity, equity, and inclusion, just like you were fighting for critical race theory, just like you were fighting for Black Lives Matter. And then we found out from their own masthead that the Black Lives Matter organization wanted to dismantle the patriarchy and put up non-binary hoobity-doos that identify as Puff the Magic Dragon. No diddy. I'm trying to understand why you keep hopping from cause to cause. Oh, that's because your mind is colonized. That's because you believe whatever Roland Martin tells you. You believe whatever D.L. Hughley tells you. You believe whatever Joy Reid tells you. Joy Reid, up until about 3 months ago, who was cosplaying as Donald Trump with that god-awful wig on her head and still hasn't done anything impactful for Black people. Then you're following Al Sharpton into a Costco because Costco has DEI. You do realize Al Sharpton's a multimillionaire, don't you? You do realize he has a multi-million-dollar contract with MSNBC. You know that, right? Why do you continue to follow multimillionaires like Al Sharpton, D.L. Hughley, who, by the way, is the 5th funniest person in the Kings of Comedy? And I know you're saying, but there were 4 Kings of Comedy. Yeah, there were. Cedric the Entertainer, Steve Harvey, Bernie Mac, God rest his soul, and Guy Torrey, who dropped out, and then he picked D.L. Hughley off the bench. And I'm so sorry. This guy is not a scholar. You know what Malcolm X said about listening to comedians and trumpet players, don't you? He said it's not a good look. But yet and still you do it. Whatever he says, y'all just jump on. And you keep acting like these people aren't evil. You'll sit up here and say, oh, Auntie Maxine Waters is doing this, that, and the third. What is she doing? Ask anybody in LA. Go ask Kendrick Lamar, who just killed the Super Bowl, how he feels about the job Maxine Waters is doing for Compton. But yet and still, you'll let Roland Martin, who is in bed with the Congressional Black Caucus, convince you that DEI is somehow going to help you. It has not. Being in bed with Democrats as if Democrats are all the good guys and Republicans are all the bad guys is why we don't win. You need people on both sides of the aisle in order to get what we need to get. And you know what we need to get? All of these politicians, regardless of where they fall on the political spectrum, out of our way so that we can build our businesses. But then see, there goes that thing about accountability. We don't want that. We want to let somebody else solve our problems. When you are not in control of the problem, you cannot dictate how the solution is doled out. We have problems here. DEI is not helping anybody. You know what will help somebody? Group economics, actual group economics, not a bumper sticker, not a hashtag, not a hoodie, not a homeboy with a thesaurus telling you how to move from day to day because they got a couple of raps that you tend to think are dope. Not a Hotep scholar sitting with a dashiki telling you how great the world is because we're doing it this way. Not somebody sitting around taking a bit and piece of one particular piece of doctrine and saying, oh, this is what we need to roll with, my brothers, as I light up some more incense and sell you some waist beads. We've got to get past the herbal tea symbolism and start getting down to brass tacks. You keep looking for a leader. The late Dr. Julia Hare said the problem with black folks is we keep looking for black leaders, but we keep following leading blacks, and they're leading us off a cliff. When are you going to realize that we need to lead ourselves? Roland Martin can't help you. Don Lemon can't help you. And why in the world would you follow Don Lemon? Because number one, he's LGBTQ first. Then he's loyal to his white husband before he's loyal to us. When are you going to look within for your own solutions? When are we going to say enough is enough and actually do what's necessary? Don't expect income from people who benefit from you not making money, for you being dependent on them and their systems, for you to be dependent on them and their lives. That's why the system keeps going. And I'm so sorry if this hurts your feelings, but tell me where I'm wrong. Tell me how this is working out. If 4%, and I know you're going to say, well, that's just a white man's talking point. You know where I got that talking point from? Black Enterprise magazine. Last I checked, the Graves own that. And the last I checked, all the Graves were black. So again, can we stop talking feelings and start talking facts? Or are you going to tell me we need to fight for this until the next hashtag comes out, until the next selective outrage talking point comes up? Then maybe, just maybe, you'll get it, or we'll be back here again and you'll talk about how somebody's being so unfair to you.